Hey, fellow Restopians, welcome to Restopia. Having to record this video again quickly because the last one, something went wrong with the rubbish old iPhone. And it was wobbling around a lot, a bit like my, apparently, someone said I had wrist Tourette's, which I thought was fantastic. So let's try, I'm really trying to slow this down now. Is this okay? Bit of a wrist check, wrist roll. My Explorer 40, which I absolutely love. I noticed that Jody, just one more watch, Erebus have released. I'm not sure what this purple showing up on is. Is that going to be? I can see a purple in my viewfinder. I don't know. I think this phone's just too ancient. But yeah, I can't be bothered to get the camera out. Yeah, just released a an Erebus GMT. Looks okay. I'm gonna pass on that one for various reasons. But anyway, I digress. So Grail watch. I've got a couple of coasters here. The watch that I'm waiting on at the moment is. It's a Rolex Submariner, the ubiquitous Rolex Submariner. Now, I am I've avoided the Rolex Submariner for decades. I've always been a Sea Dweller fan. But I've had two Grail watches in my time, so this is relevant. One was the Rolex GMT Master 2, the blue one, blue-black, Batman. Yeah, I don't know the serial number. Sorry. Whip me now. I dare not to know. I am not a true watch fan if I don't know the serial number, the model number rather. I don't know the serial number either, but I don't know the model number, the reference number. I don't know the reference number of my Rolexes, so therefore I am not a true watch enthusiast. Yeah, I challenge you to tell me the reference number of your Amiga or your Grand Seiko. Anyway, so yeah, the Batman was a Grail for me, as I called it a Grail. It was something that I aspired to. I think that if you have a Grail, you have to be kind of trying to purchase it. You can't just say a watch and it's my Grail. You have to kind of be trying to own it, is my opinion. But yeah, everyone's opinion is valid. This is the next watch that I'm waiting for. As I said, hopefully the AD will call, this year. Although, come on, hurry up, guys. You're leaving it a bit late. But yeah, hopefully I'll get a call. The reason that the Submariner's now back on is that it has gone up. I'm not sure when, but it changed from 40mm to 41 and from 20mm lug width to 21. What did I say? 40mm to 41, yeah, and 20mm to 21, which is more my size. So having the Batman, which is a little bit small for me at 40 and 20mm, 40mm case diameter and 20mm lug width, it's a little bit small for me. It made me think, do you know what? Maybe the Submariner now will be a good size. And it doesn't have a date. That's another thing. I'm not really sure when it dropped the date. And the main thing that dropping the date means is that it doesn't have a Cyclops anymore, which is I think it's my most disliked feature on a watch is a Rolex Cyclops. I can just about put up with it on the Batman, but not much. So, the Rolex Submariner is a watch that I would like to own, but it's not a Grail watch. The Batman was. What is the other one of those two Grail watches that I mentioned was, I don't know, maybe still is, the Vacheron Constantan Overseas 3-hand in a blue. Yeah, so I kind of got to thinking, I'm a bit of I've enjoyed Rolexes as well as lots of other watches over the years, and I thought, should I consolidate them and go into high horology? And if I did that, what would it be? I'm not particularly a fan of AP or Patek Philippe. I say I'm not a fan. What I mean by that is I don't particularly want to own one. Jaeger-LeCoultre, that's probably more my thing. But again, I don't want to own one. So the nearest I could get, because I love blue dials, blue and silver, is the Vacheron Constantan Overseas. So I didn't really, although I just said that you need to be trying to make the purchase, I hadn't really made any effort until I got an email from Chisholm Hunter, Harrison's company. And they sort of sent me some sort of offer that was like interest-free credit, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, hang on a minute. This was next to a Tudor, which was really odd. And I thought, I don't know, maybe times have changed, and maybe the Vacheron Constantan Overseas blue freehand is purchasable now. So I made some inquiries, and they told me, no, it's not. Anyway, I said, fair enough. I was only replying to your ad that you sent me. I think they offered me some other Vacheron Constantan, some gold stuff with, complications, like horrible things. And I politely declined. And then, period of time went by. And then recently, Vacheron Constantan, I won't name the AD, but it's an AD that's contacting quite a few people. So you may know which one that is. Let me know in the comments below if you've been contacted by them as well. They made contact and they said, similar thing really. Do you want to buy one of these gold ones? And, no, I just want that. This is the only one that I want. I was polite. I said, look, I appreciate that. It's difficult to get, but it's the only one that I want. And we sort of left it at that. But so the reason this video is called Grail Watch DeGrailed is that I looked into the model a little bit further. Now, there was already some things I didn't like about it. I love the blue. I love the freehand. I love a lot. I absolutely love that bezel. I mean, that is a stunning bezel. But there are things that I'm not too keen on. I'm not too keen on the fact that it doesn't hack. But I understand that is a high horology thing. So, yeah, all right, I'll accept that. Even though it means that I can't, it's going to really mess with my OCD because I can't set the watch accurately. It's going to be up to 30 seconds out. I'm not too keen on it having a date, and especially because it's a non-colour match date window. But, silver, blue, white, black, yeah, kind of fine, okay with that. The main thing that I didn't like before is the chapter ring. Let's get rid of my Grinch thumb. Is the chapter ring on the rehalt. Now, so it has I don't know, minute mark, 5 minute indices obviously, and then minute indices in between. Let's just get the PC back on a bit more light. But then on the rehalt, it has a kind of a second chapter ring with some numbers, like I need to know that there's 60 seconds in an hour, and that's 55 seconds, and that's 40 seconds. I don't need to know that. I kind of learned that at school. And it has sub-second markers, and the sub-seconds are divided into 5. Now that, just as a visual thing, is not. That's the worst thing about this watch, in my opinion. Well, until recently. So that was the worst thing about this watch. It has sub-second markers, and they're just completely not needed on a three-hand watch. Maybe if it was a chronograph, maybe, although nobody uses a chronograph. Maybe the chronograph would be, bless you, maybe the chronograph would be, it's my dog sneezing. Maybe the chronograph would be useful to have some. They kind of tend to have them, even though who really uses a chronograph to time anything. But on a three-hand, they're just completely pointless. And I think visually just really spoil this dial. But at that point, I was like, well, it is what it is. You can't get it without the sub-second markers on the Rehaut. So if I want to spend, oh, that's the other thing. This was just over 20,000 when I first inquired. It's now nearer 25,000. So if I want to spend £25,000 by cashing in various other watches, then I'm just going to have to accept that it's got that there. But the straw that broke the camel's back was, I've done a video on this recently about the beat rate of the movement not matching the sub-second markers. Now, this is something that kind of always is just a no-no on a chronograph, although an Omega Speedmaster did exist where the beat rate didn't match the sub-second markers. I think it was just one, and I think now, you know, they all do. But on three-hand watches, it's quite common that they don't match up. Now, sometimes there's a legitimate reason, as I mentioned in a previous video, is that if the beat rate was 7 ticks per second, that's never going to match up to anything you can do on the sub-second markers. Excuse me. But this is 8 beats per second. So it would be very easy to divide those sub-seconds into 4, because 8 does divide by 4. 4 divides by 8, whichever way you want to look at it. But it means that the second hand would hit each marker and in between each marker. But when it's divided into 5, that just doesn't work. And this is just too much for my OCD. I don't understand why Vacheron Constantan have done this. They're meant to be. This is a £25,000 watch, and if you kind of, you know, it's not entry level, to use that term, but it's not entry level. You know, generally speaking, the ones above, you know, there are a lot above this. This is fairly cheap for a Vacheron Constantan. I know there's a cheaper one, Calatrava, is it? Oh, I don't know. But yeah, for a braceleted Vacheron Constantan, I think this is about as cheap as it gets. But yeah, on other ones, it would have the same situation where the beat rate doesn't match the sub-second markers. So number one, they shouldn't be there in the first place. That should really be a stainless steel Rehaut. But if they are going to be there, I would argue that they need to be, you know, they need to match the beat. Is that too much to ask? Come on, let me know in the comments below. Am I being unreasonable that I've got these sub-second markers there on my 20? I haven't bought it, but on my £25,000 watch, and it just doesn't correspond. The watchmaker has decided. You know, it's gone to all this trouble to make all these things, all this detail on the watch, the case, the movement, the bracelet, and then it thought, do you know what? Let's just we're just going to put these pointless sub-second markers in that have no relevance whatsoever. And I find that is the straw that broke the camel's back for me. And you know, I haven't seen one yet. I am going to pop to a Vacheron Constantan dealer and I'm going to have a look at it, but I just don't think my OCD can do it. So this Grail watch has been, in principle, DeGrailed. I mean, you know, they haven't offered it to me yet. So, you know, never say never. But is it worth selling, you know, I can't afford it without selling other pieces. So is it worth selling these ones that don't have that issue? I mean, like I say, there are only 2 manufacturers I know of that have this, well, 3. So was that Omega that I mentioned that has an 8 beat, well, I can't remember what the beat rate was of the Omega, but there was the Omega that didn't match. I didn't look into it. Maybe it couldn't match. I don't know. But this could match if they'd simply made those, divided those sub-seconds into 4. And Hanhart make a lot. And Hanhart are known for chronographs. So they should not be making this mistake. I actually emailed Hanhart and they said, whilst they would like to be technically correct, they decided that they wanted it to visually look different to being technically correct. That is just a bizarre statement for a watch manufacturer to make, especially for Hanhart, who are a chronograph manufacturer, and historic chronograph manufacturer, and for Vacheron Constantan, that you know, 25 grand and up. I think it's unforgivable, and I cannot see that I could do it. But, you know, as I say never. But that's what this video is about. This was a Grail watch, but because of that, I have effectively DeGrailed it. It is now not something I am desiring, although I will go down that route of going to the AD, having a look. It would be nice for them to offer it to me and me to say no, I suppose. Because then its Grail status was, it's something that I was trying to buy. But yeah, I think I'm just going to stick to good old Rollies. It does what it says on the tin. But yeah, I think that pretty much covered the video that I did yesterday. It seems a lot longer. I think yesterday's one was 10 minutes. This is now over 15. But at least it's not wobbling around like crazily. Hopefully not anyway, because I haven't looked back at it yet. But yeah, hope you're having a good weekend. Hope that makes some sense. Hope that's been useful. Hope it hasn't upset people that have bought Vacheron Constantans or any watch and realised that the sub-second track is completely pointless and they've been mugged off. But I don't know, crazy world of watches. But for now, one wrist, live it.